Talking Shit Tuesday, the show that pisses everybody off apparently, and I think the fact that I have built something that's this badass pisses a lot of people off, and they wish I was on their team, and when I'm not on their team, they just lash out, look for sympathy, blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, look, if you're gonna piss off the Amry, you have to just kind of like let the Amry do its thing. Today was actually pretty fun. Today I actually spent the day tuning, and then I went to the gym, came back, and I guess some shit had happened, and I'm just like, okay, I wasn't aware. I got caught up, and it was pretty good to see the the shit posting. And a lot of people in there talking shit that should not be talking shit because you have a lot of skeletons in your closet. Today I'm going to talk about the post that I put up on Facebook of the Coyote Swap ZR-1, and I honestly did not think it would get any traction, but for whatever reason it did, and we could talk about why it's getting any traction at all. I was actually surprised about the fact that it was shared almost 350 times, and comments on my specific post are like in the 200s, but the likes are like at 1,000. So I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on there? We'll talk about why I think it's semi-viral. I think it's an interesting thing to talk about specifically. Also, Junior got to tuning some more on the S650 and a half, aka the 25 Mustang GT. Got a couple of calls from people that want to be a part of that program that dealt with me on my channel, and I just passed on the information because if you fucks with me, meaning in a good way, if you support the channel and parts and anything can be given to a project that is at Lund Racing, and I can help vet some of the tuning on that stuff, it only helps everybody. So we'll talk about that and many more things, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly tells us to do it live.
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Right. Fucking thing sucks.
It sucks. It always sucks. You know what does not suck though? PMAS. I wonder if PMAS is in the middle of right now making some inlet tubes or something for the 24 and 25 Mustang. It'll be interesting if they do some kind of like inlet or whatever. I don't know if there's anything to gain to be had there. But it'll be interesting to see what the cold air manufacturers do. PMAS exchange the best cold air intakes on the planet. 11 to 14, 15 to 17, 18 to 2023. The best cold air. The Fender well is the one that I would highly suggest. And 11 to 14, the H120, I think it's called. Best one around. None of the other ones matter. DNAPperformance.com. You can get your cold air intakes there. 4-star wheels. On 3, put them on 16 times twin turbo kits. Whipple superchargers, Magnuson stuff, Roush stuff, fuel systems, everything at DNAPperformance.com. Partsarm.com. They got a couple of GT motors for sale, crank pallets, GT350 motors, pullouts. They fix some cars and sell them to you at a discount after getting them passed through whatever inspection in Georgia. Check them out if you got any needs for used Mustang parts. They deliver. Two Water Solution, Robin's Total Solution. He is also up on the S650 and a half, aka the S650 game. Hopefully he can get some tuning over there once we start releasing tuning on that Gen 3 and a half, basically. And Belak Industry. If you want to go 100 miles on a boat, you want to let him go 100 miles on a boat, buy some Belak wheels, let everyone know you sell drugs, and yeah, you should be good to go after that. Also, richprints.com/YDBT. You go Patreon and Rich Prints. Rich Prints actually put up, I think, a new shirt that a lot of people, according to them, they hit me up today. They said, Alex, we got a couple of guys that are asking about a shirt, and I wonder if they added it. Let's see. No, I don't see it. Oh, here it is. No? Yes, okay. So let me see. We got hats, YDBT hats, curved Amry hats, YDBT Amry curved and mesh style, Dono flat brim Amry YDBT, Section A shirt, Section A hoodie, Hush Money her shirts and hoodies, YDBT font, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, GT350. We also got 85 to 86 nose. We got GT and LX. That's right. We got Aero GT Fox. Let's do it in green. How about white? We got Aero GT Fox and Aero LX. That's right. He added an LX nose because a lot of people who are notchback fans or whatever did not want to buy the GT shirt. So he added the LX. So if you have an LX and you want to have a Save the Manual shirt, check them out. richprints.com/YDBT. Get yourself some shirts, get yourself some merch if you want to support the show. Let's say hi to the people here. We'll talk some shit about the ZR-1 post, about what Junior found out. I'm not going to give it away. He's probably going to post some stuff on Instagram. And but I'll tell you that there are gains to be had on E85, on pump gas. Vaya con Dios. If you live in an area where you cannot get E85 and you are stuck on 93 and you're naturally aspirated, the car might perform better with a tune, but it's not going to make that much more power if you put it on a dyno. Dual overhead cam, Ant, Phil Fez, John Jones, Andrew Martin, Joe Swish, Ken McAllister, The Murder Smart, Pito Chiquito, Coyote, Fury, Money for 40 boosted, G3, Nick, Clint Stroke boosted, Rodney, dual overhead cam, Ant, Rodney, Z33, Camzilla, Andy, Rodney B, I guess you're like a top, there's a little crown next to your name. I think it's because you're a top contributor. Total number, Frank Donahue, Connor Wozorinsky Parker says, Bob Toon Taker's a real one, boys? What am I missing? EPA, Howdy Kelly, Michael, Rizzy, TC, Paul Ponthio a couple of times, Exxon Devil Dog, Anthony, Brian B, GT Frank, D-Rock Fox, RPG, Joe Ray, as Havens F, Austin, El Verga, Larga, Jasso. I had to share his debts. No, that doesn't exist. We know this is a fake account because it doesn't exist. Jasso, Michael Rodriguez. Michael, are you in Houston? That name sounds familiar. I could have sworn I knew a guy named Michael Rodriguez in Houston that had a Camaro way back in the day when I lived in Houston. Matt Oliver, AJ, Jose Sanchez, Blue Thunder, Reyes Bill, Don Vader, 1320 Didios, Rocco Zioli, Blue Thunder, Bryson Witt with the links, Gregory of Slick Vic, Bryson Witt a couple of times, JD Swag, 1320 Didios, V-Town, Rooster, V-Town is the one talking all that shit on Patreon, Garage Bill Coyote, ESS Speed, Alejandro Gonzalez, Turbo, Exxon, and all the usual suspects. Guys, thank you very much for being here and hanging out with the kid. So I think 3 days ago, I posted something very, generic on Facebook. I said, many late nights, many different adapters, many brainstorming sessions. The Coyote Swap ZR-1 is a go. All that is left now is to bleed the clutch, send it up north for a custom twin turbo kit. I have been working on this for damn near over a year. Just to catch up, so you know why I installed the Coyote in this ZR-1. The car was running fine when it went up to get a transmission built. Then it went somewhere else to get tuned and a flex fuel sensor installed. It supposedly made 750 real-world horsepower. When it came here, it smelled like antifreeze or coolant. After driving it a little bit, never flashing it, I literally drove it on the tune that it was dynoed on. It suffered a catastrophic failure of one of the pistons basically melted. So I think what happened was there was coolant getting into that cylinder, bad combustion, bad things happen, and bada bing, bada boom. But at no point when I was tuning it, I shipped it up north, it was running fine. So a lot of people are going to say, Alex, everything you tune blows up. Nothing I've tuned has blown up. Like the ZR-1 was running fine when it went to Pennsylvania. Came back, drove it a little bit, blew up after it was tuned elsewhere. And after it was worked on elsewhere, and I had an intercool brick leak. The GT500, the motor was in there for 4 years, broke a timing chain. Sent it out, came back, the motor was never right, not the tuning. So let's just get that thing right. So I thought to myself, okay, I have a couple of Coyote motors. I have Jake that is willing to help me out with Coyote stuff. Can I make one fit? Now, what I think happened that made this post blow up is the fact that it fits. I think that's messing with people's heads. They're going, wait a minute, it fits? And the hood shuts? But I could have sworn I saw another Coyote Swap ZR-1 with the Coyote sticking way out of the hood, making everyone think that this is as big as a big block. And I think that's where the myth started getting, spread around with that the Coyote is simply too big to fit in certain things. So then what I did was I went to one of these places that, John, did you just give me $100? Jesus Christ, John. John, thank you so much. John, people are saying that you're like this close to firing me. How can you be this close to firing me and you give me $100? Oh, bro, you know what I love the most? I love the most that my job is so fucking secure that it's not even funny. And people think that saying something is going to get me in trouble. Guys, nothing you can say based on seniors and I's relationship can hurt it. Like we're fucking solid. So nothing's happening there. It's funny. So I think a lot of people saw this big, stupid big block, right, looking thing, and it wouldn't fit. So I got one of these mock-up motors that's like a metal piece of thing. It's $300. And I said, let me see if it physically fits. So once I took the LS9 out and figured out what was wrong with it, I bought one of those mock-up motors. I put it in, and it fit scarily good. I went, oh, Jesus. And I said, Jake, look, the crank center line is the same spot that the LS9 was in, and it's lining up with the torque tube spline. And he's like, dude, holy shit, maybe we could make it work. So after some measurements, we did LS9, we reused the LS9 motor mounts. We made a little puck to extend it up. We made a custom bell housing to adapt from a modular bolt pattern motor to the Corvette bolt pattern using a 3500, a Tremec 3550 bell housing to modular, and we were able to machine the back of it. And then what did we do? An oil pan, a custom oil pan, and a custom pickup tube from Ryan Eckhart that he modified to be able to fit in. So 3 things: motor mount, oil pan, bell housing. No different than any other swap. How many times have you seen a Coyote got swapped into a Fox body, a Crown Victoria, a Marauder, a Fairmont, a Zephyr, a truck, where you needed a bell housing, you needed a K-member, you needed an oil pan, and you needed a motor mounts. So I think a lot of the LS guys got a little, I don't know, sideways, and not on my post. There's 300 and, let me go back. I think there's 319 shares. Okay. So if you look here on the bottom right, it says 319 shares. So if I click on that, I don't know what happens. I think it just goes crazy. Yeah. So it just goes nuts. Everyone sharing it. And I think the biggest one was the Draggy Talk page, which I am not a member of. Thank goodness. I literally did not want anything, but there's a lot of conversation happening, damn near over 1,000 likes. And I'll go, wait, okay. So I'm trying to figure out why. And I think it's mostly because people did not think it would fit. And I'm a nobody. I'm actually not that smart. So the fact that I said, let me buy a mock-up motor, let me put it in there, let me see if it fits, and it fits, shit, this is literally a Coyote swapped anything. It's a chassis. It's a carbon fender, carbon roof, super light chassis, big brakes, transaxle. Why wouldn't you want to swap a Coyote in it? Not an NA Coyote. Let's be honest. NA Coyotes are not the move. This is going to get twin turbo, plain and simple. If Ryan Eckhart goes underneath and goes, there's no room for turbos, then we pivot and we'll do a supercharger of some sorts, have them make custom headers, and then bring it back here, and then it's up to me to make it drive. So I've always wondered what pissed people off a lot about this swap, and I think it's because it fits. So it is a direct threat. Now, people say, this thing's a big boat. Simply, guys, Google this for if you guys are arguing at home with your friends about this specific post. Google the weight of an LS3. A fully dressed LS3, because it's NA, I'm not going to compare it to an LS9 because the LS9 is supercharged. A fully dressed LS3 can be up to 500 pounds. A fully dressed Coyote is about the same weight. I'm saying fully dressed. Water pump, accessories, alternator, everything. Fully dressed, it's probably a little bit lighter than the LS3. So there goes that argument. So for many years, 10 plus years or whatever, people say, why would your Coyote swap a Corvette? You have a bigger, heavier motor that makes less power. Why would you do that? Well, actually, it fits. It's the same weight, and supercharge or turbocharge, even the LS guys know the Coyote is king because you have to do nothing. Senior right now spent 20 hours trying some combos out on Grey Goose. He just got done putting Predator cams back in that sucker, and guess what? It's all Ford part numbers. You can make a cargo 660s with Ford part numbers. The block, obviously sleeved by FFRE, some rotating assemblies, cylinder heads, 350 cylinder heads, and 350 Predator cams. You can make it go. So this engine that I have in there is a Gen 3 bottom end, Gen 2 head, Gen 2 timing system. All it needs is 15 pounds of boost from twin turbos, and it'll be fucking deadly. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Now, when you LS swap a Fox body, we don't trip. We go, it's gay. I never said it's not going to go fast. I never once said, oh my God, you're not going to go fast when you swap an LS in a Fox body. No, remember, the LS needs the Fox body. The Fox body doesn't need the LS. The Fox body goes fast with a 2J, an RB, a fucking Barra, a small block Ford, a diesel, whatever you put in it, the chassis does not care what motor goes in there. So I thought it interesting that a lot of people that think that we get all up in arms about the LS swapping the Fox body, but then in the same breath, they go, why would you put a shittier motor in there? The LS9 is not that special. It's special for LSs. You understand? It's not special generally. You immediately have to open it up to make good power. You're going to tell me you can take a stock long block and make similar power to a Coyote boost for boost? Even low compression. even a low compression, let's say Illuminator or Coyote. You don't think boost and fuel, you can make more power with the Coyote than you can with the LS9? Because it needs a cam, it needs valve train upgrades, it needs internal work to make the air pump more efficient for the added boost. The Coyote does not. You just say, here you go, here's boost, here's fuel, and it's gonna make the power as long as mechanically it all stays together. So that's why I did it. So let's talk about the S650 tuning. I'm gonna be very vague because I want Junior to 100% get the information out to you guys. He posted a couple of things on Instagram. If you go to Junior's Instagram, he posted that there is not much to be gained in terms of horsepower on the S650, and a lot of other tuners have parroted the same thing. There ain't much to gain on 93, and guess what? It's because the tune is already ragged out. Exactly. The tune is already ragged out. So 25, 26 degrees of spark advance on a stock tune is pretty aggressive. Whereas Gen 3 was seeing 22 to 23. And if the knock sensor was really happy, it might tickle 24 and a half, maybe 25. But the Mustang was seeing 24, 25 degrees, like right off the rip. The other problem is that the MCT, the manifold charge temp, the map sensor basically, is in the manifold. So they get hotter, meaning you're not sampling IAT at the cold air, you're sampling manifold charge temp. So it's going to be hotter generally. So if you're in the staging lanes and you're idling the whole time, you're going to get 140 degrees manifold charge temps, and that's when the car starts pulling timing on the factory tune. So aftermarket tuners go in there, they try to see how much they can get away with. Not much. Even on a good, sweet 93, you're not really gaining that much, 3, 4, maybe 5 horsepower. The advantage comes in the RPM, shift RPM, raise some limiters, and it might perform well. Just like Gen 3. For 5 years, I've been saying on this chat, if you're on 93 octane, do not expect big horsepower gains naturally aspirated on a Coyote, tuned. You're going to perform better, but your horsepower is not going to jump up 20 or 30 if you're using 93 octane, even on a Gen 3. So to me, this isn't really showing you much more than Gen 3 did. Gen 3 with headers, cold air, sweet fuel, E85 or something, some have tickled 500 real horsepower, and one of them supposedly did. And I went, okay, this car is no different than how the Gen 3 performed, except it's a little heavier because of the infotainment and all the bullshit and electronics. So generally, it might be a little slower. Now, the autos, that remains to be seen how you can optimize an aftermarket tune to make the auto shift a little better, which might make it better than a drag mode equipped Gen 3. But again, it is heavier. All things being equal, I'm going to choose the car that makes similar power that is lighter. That's at the end of the day. But it's good for the aftermarket. And I got a call today. Ultimate Header hit me up. They go, hey, Alex, what's going on? Do you know who owns that car? I go, actually, the Lunds bought the car. Lund Racing bought the car that they tune, because that's what you're supposed to do. You don't use everyone else for your R&D. Well, yeah, you do with modern cars. Cool. Don't talk to me about tuning when you don't own the platform that you're tuning. So they ended up saying, hey, if they're up for it, are they willing to try one of our headers? I said, look, I'm not even going to ask them. I'm just going to say send it to them. So Ultimate Header wanted to talk to them. Magnuson hit me up, and they're like, hey, so the people that work with me are willing to, help out the project. And of course, I think the Lunds are going to buy a Whipple. They're going to buy everything that they can to vet the file so that when a tune order comes in and everything becomes indexed, you can get a potential Roush twin inlet file. You can get a Whipple file. You can get an NA file. You can get a bunch of different things. So that's going to be the future of tuning. But I'll let Junior explain to you. I'll let him explain how much power was gained with the E85. E85 tuning happened today. So I thought it was interesting. So we could talk about all that shit or whatever else you want to talk about. Now we leave him. So Alex can pop the top off. What's going on here? Someone talking shit. Someone with the ones. 90% lean. Then Rug pulling the post. Rug pulling. What the fuck post we talking about? Radioactive fabrication. Is the LS guy stuck in their bubble thinking the LS9 is a good engine? The LS9 has like titanium this, that. At the end of the day, it's a low compression motor that needs a cam, ported heads, over 20 psi to make good power on the 85, right? So let's compare it to a stock Gen 3 Coyote. I have seen, Gen 2 Coyote. I have seen many Gen 2 Coyotes make 1,000 rear wheel horsepower. I have seen many Gen 3 Coyotes make 1,000 rear. I got a guy right now making damn near 1,100. He's going low eights. And I'm like, dude, do you have enough money to buy another motor? He's like, I don't care. If it blows up, I'll put another stock motor in there. I'm like, my guy, I love that shit. Alex, with the ZR-1 stick-shift record would be diabolical. No. In order for that car to run 8.4 stick shift, bro, it needs to make 1,300 horsepower. Now, the engine that's in there is the phase 1. Let's just say phase 1, it fit, everything fit. Let's go. Let's see what breaks. And let's see what we can improve. The motor is a sacrificial lamb. I have 2 other motors in the garage ready to go in case shit goes bad. So I have backups. But I'm not looking to blow it up, but I'd like to see what can be improved. And if in a couple of years, a badass FFRE motor is in the cards, I'll put it in there. ZR-1 searches are up right now with new one coming out. I bet that helped getting views on the Coyote swap ZR-1. That is interesting. Coyote equals 444 pounds. LS3 equals 486 pounds. So it is not heavier and it physically fits. So what's your excuse right now? I used to fly them. I retired Hilo in 2020. Okay, seniors talking about flying. Alex is tuning my Ford GT500. Runs awesome with the VMP 269. Even on the base file, Lund is the best, period. Junk Pollock, you can't say that because people will say, well, that's because, he's copy-pasting. Imagine copy-pasting your way to 10 years of tuning. Unreal. And then you work for the most lucrative, the most volume, the highest earning, and the most respected tuning company on the Ford game. Not even close. Oh, Jesus, here we go with the Navigator engine shit. I don't know what he's talking about. LS3 is about 460 to 490 dependent on accessories. Now with tuning on the S650, does Ford over-the-air update now get blocked? Joe, I guess what ends up happening is you kill the automatic update in the sync system, if I'm not mistaken. The sync system is what talks to phones home and all this stuff. Now, let's say you're one of those guys that loves the infotainment. See, there are a lot of guys that buy this car, not necessarily for the performance. They want a Mustang for the sake of having a Mustang, and they want all the sync stuff. Those guys are probably not good candidates for tuning, right? Those guys are going to be like, let's say you get a premium top of the heap dark horse. I would leave it alone if you don't care about tuning or racing. If you just want to put an exhaust in it, drive around, cool, let the sync update. It updates to the latest and greatest. Maybe you get a new gauge package. Maybe you get a new set of colors. Maybe you get new ambient lighting. You know what I mean? Like the sync system can update that stuff because they're trying to be like Tesla. Tesla, everything is over the air, over the air, over the air. And you literally can make your car a robo-taxi with an over-the-air update if you pay for it. So Ford, I think, is trying to use that model. But the problem is it's a subscription model. So that means you have to pay for everything that's extra. Some cars, and Jaywalker, correct me if I'm wrong, does Porsche make you sync a phone until you cannot access all of the nannies in the infotainment unless you sync a phone? Is that true? I kind of heard that the other day, and I thought that was very interesting. 904 Sucks ML and Alex, what's going on? That's Bryson Witt. Okay. I don't even know who 904 is. Yannick, 13, thank you very much. Senior gave me $100. Yannick gave me $20, and Bryson Witt gave me $10, saying, oh, sorry, Big Daddy Patty says, the reason the C6 and F bodies are fast is the desirable platforms because they're light, not because of the power plant. Right. So let's say, for instance, the car was so badass. Why are you LS swapping Fox bodies? Why aren't there just a shitload of Catfish and C6s? Well, C6s are fast. I'm not going to lie. C6s are quick because they're light. But why swap everything into a Fox body? Like, imagine you're such a diehard Chevy guy that you opt in for a Ford chassis, Ford rear end, Ford design triangulated four-link, Ford, except the power plant, and that makes you feel okay. Okay, no problem. I like the Corvette. I like the carbon stuff. I like the brakes. I like everything that's going on. I don't like the power plant. I like the Coyote. Same thing. Why do I suck? Got it. I know of 2 Mustangs. Oh, God, stop it. Stop it, John Lund. Ella signs the present for a push-out engine, but doesn't hold a candle. Well-sorted Coyote. I agree. Trying to get these comments because the comments are going crazy. Actually, local to Lund Racing West Coast, 4.63 valve Pro Charge, hung the rods out. I don't know what the fuck's happening. John Lund. John Lund's here talking more shit than people. How come Potato Lifestyle doesn't charge me tune credit? Fucking EPA. Just look at the 904 profile picture. He would get slapped with a 5. Okay, this is also what's happening out there. And this is one of those things that I realized a couple of days ago. And seriously, guys, I'm not trying to say this to like make my head any bigger than it is. How many tuners are athletic out there? Just on the Ford side. Just on the Ford side. How many of them are athletic? Meaning they look like they take care of themselves. You know, I played sports. It was good. Wasn't like a jock per se, but I was very good at all sports. And then when I got out of high school and became a man, let's go to the gym and stay in shape. So none. Zero, right? Most tuners fall into like 3 categories. Nerdy, look like pedophiles, or are, you know, mischievous characters that like to, you know, they operate barely on the legal side, right? Like they're usually just trying to make a quick buck. So everyone looks like a pedo or a fucking pencil neck geek nerd or someone that, you know, you shady. And I'm the only one that looks kind of athletic and I kind of can take care of myself and I have the gift of gab and I have a fan base. So you automatically are going to get hate for that. You're going to get blamed for shit you didn't do, whatever. But the thing is this, I don't mind the smoke, right? I wish people would say if you want to talk to me in person, these are your 2 options. We're fighting or you're leaving. No discussing. We're not going to talk. We're not going to hash anything out. If you want to see me in person, we are fighting or you just get the fuck out of my face. There is no in between. I don't want to make friends with anyone in this industry. I barely want to go racing because you goofy fat fucks out there that look like pedos. I don't want to be involved with your bullshit. So I wonder why people go out of their way to talk shit. And it's usually, I think there's a bit of like a getting put in the locker kind of feeling that comes back to them when they see me. Oh, you know, this guy reminds me of a guy that used to stuff me in the locker all the fucking time. I'm just like, okay, well, I didn't stuff you in the locker, you know. If you don't steal, cheat, lie, or do weird shit, you're good, right? Like, you're good. Like, the only people I am against are people that have verified done weird shit. So I think those people are going to be the most vocal. That's all. Look at, stop it. EPA, you can tell 904 Stealing Potato Lifestyle has never stepped foot inside of a gym. Yeah, look, and that's where my respect goes to 0. I'm one of those guys that respects people that takes care of themselves. Like, if someone genuinely cares about their health, I respect you more. If you give a fuck about your health. Unfortunately, I had to go back to being bent over the face pillow again. Look, I didn't block him. I'm just here. I just figured out. I didn't even go through his comments. I don't know what he was on about, but it doesn't matter. New flex. My tuner can run a 5-minute mile. Can I run a 5-minute mile? I might be able to run a 5-minute mile. Should I? Should I make a video? Me running a 5-minute mile like on a treadmill? Be like, oh, can you do this? Hola Papa says, N Chapa. What's up, N Chapa? Or Dead Cow Eyes, 997 Golden Era, though, Dad. Imagine coming into a live chat, shit talking to get stomped out. I don't know what happened, guys. I don't have to scroll back. Apparently, there's 620 people, and I think they think I'm going to talk about something, and I'm just like, I wish I knew what the fuck you guys are talking about. I guess someone posted something and then blamed me for it, and I'm like, I was working. Like, guys, you understand? Between 8 and 4:30, I'm not on Facebook. I don't have time to be on Facebook. I wake up every day to 50 orders, and then they all reply, and then Nardi brings this, and then Parker does that, and then there's a this and that, and I'm blah, 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 blah. So then I go, shit, you think I have time to be on Facebook, Instagram, anything? No. Ask Senior, ask all the guys. My list is at 0 by 12 or 1, and then the replies rush in at 2 or 3 from those people that I answered emails to, and then I'm the rest of the day just catching up. And then by 4:30, I'm done, go to the gym, come back, take the dog out, eat, and then I get ready for the show. You think I have time? If your tuner is on Facebook on a Monday or a Tuesday between the hours of 8 and 4:30, they don't have enough work. They just don't have enough work. So that's why I think the S650 to them has to work. It has to happen. It has to be a boom. We need an infusion of cash. We need an infusion of cash. So this has to work. So they're going to hype it up. And the other thing is, right, if this car barely, and this has been, Senior says, Senior could care less. The only reason this asshat is still around is because he is given short credence. He needs to be ignored and will die on the vine, as they all do. I don't know him exactly. That's why I tell you guys, bro, giving him attention is feeding. Remember the movie The Fifth Element? That big, nasty blob out in space that gets stronger when more hate is thrown at it. You ignore it, it goes away. Let them stand on their own shit. So what the fuck I was saying? Okay, so a lot of the tuners, if you look on online, have said this S650 on pump gas is not going to make a lot of power. It's tough to get power out of it NA. So how the fuck is it making 800 robo horsepower on pump gas boosted? So it struggles to see 25 degrees of spark advance, and when you try to shove more into it, the knock sensors go, nope. But magically, when you shove 13 pounds of boost on it and you give it 15 to 16 degrees, it magically makes 800. I'm like, oh, interesting. Okay, got it. That's why I think the way certain things were rolled out were ridiculous. And now you're seeing the results of that. You're seeing the results of like, wait a minute, let's do some critical thinking here. If NA, I cannot gain anything. The car does not gain anything NA, but boosted, it makes 800 to the wheel. How did that happen? Oh, well, it's because, adamantium and element 5 rotors infuse the pistons with octane. The fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. Big Daddy Patty says, in positive news, Junior, Corey, and Nardi were patient with me dealing with a flashing issue over the weekend. Got it rolling, got me Lund 85 tune, and now the car runs great. 5 stars for Lund, always. Again, our work speaks for itself. And if Senior didn't think I was a good addition to the team, he'd say, Alex, love you, but you got to go. But imagine this. Imagine having a guy that tunes for your company, and he is remotely located. So who's helping me tune? Yeah, I love that stuff. Mr. Lund, respect. How many old fashions have you had, sir? Senior has had a rough day. And I'm not going to get into it. There's a lot of stuff that's happening in the background. Nothing bad in terms of like business or anything. Business is good. The Grey Goose is at that point where you need every little thing to, let's say, go 6.5. See, the Grey Goose has not gone 6.5. Senior's goal is to go 649. Right? He wants to go 649 this year. So that's, almost a couple of tenths. So a couple of improvements were attempted. They did not go well. So we had to revert back to other things. So I think at the end of the day, Senior's just tired of taking one step forward and then 2 steps back. So, but at least we know where we're at now. And in the future, if any other modifications need to be made, it has to be done with like way more vetting. That's all. So the Ford stock tune is already saucy from factory, just like we said. We said, wait a minute. You're telling me these cars, while heavier, are not as fast as Gen 3, but they're keeping up. Then you see a data log, and you're like 25, 26 degrees of spark advance on pump gas is a lot for a Gen 4, for a S650. That's a lot. On pump gas, 12 to 1 compression, the motor didn't change drastically. If it had lower compression, 10 to 1, 11 to 1, I would understand 26 degrees of spark advance, but not at 12 to 1. So I'm like, what changed? And I think Ford probably said, let's sauce this tune up a little bit. And then on the dark horse, let's allow it to have more torque and change the shift schedule and call it a dark horse. D-Rock says, Alice, what was that thing Draggy Talk posted, like an AI of you talking? Who runs that page? I have no idea. Dude, I don't go on Draggy Talk. I don't go on Facebook. Facebook is irrelevant. It's for grandmas and goofies. Like, I don't go on Facebook at all. If you need Facebook to make your business pop, something's wrong. If your business has not caught on in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years that it does not need Facebook, you haven't done the Google keywords and all that stuff. If you need Facebook, something that can get shut down by China tomorrow. I mean, something's wrong with your business model. That's all. Lund Senior, you still have your GT500? Didn't see it in any of the videos Junior has been posting lately. John Lund says, there is no current throttle setup available for Cobra Jet manifold on an S650. I did hear of a custom setup that was made. What's Lund Junior and Senior page? What's Lund Junior and Senior pages? How can I follow them? Senior doesn't have Facebook. Crazy. John says, yes, I drove it Saturday to get ice cream. 14 GT500 is still around. Cabin Air Filter says, sounds like Ford brought a Lund 93 tune and softened it up for a stock tune. No, look. Lund knows how to tune Ford knows how to tune their cars. I think what ended up happening was a lot of people said, let's say, for instance, Ford instituted the same spark advance as they did to Gen 3, 22 to 23, maybe 24 tops. Boy, this thing is not performing. It's not performing. You know, they have to meet emission standards. They have to meet mile per gallon standards. They have to meet all these standards. So then they're like, it's not performing. So they probably go in there and sauce it up a little bit. What do? Well, they probably desensitize the knock sensor. And I'd love to talk to Junior about that. I'm going to say, Junior, excuse me. In the knock sensor sensitivity tables, is there a correlation in the number that you see that is different on Gen 3? Meaning the hertz or the frequency or whatever the number is for sensitivity on Gen 3 is the number less sensitive on Gen 4. That'll tell you everything. The Druggy Talk post looked like a fake account, probably fat cake. Again, most of the people that talk shit look like pedophiles or pencil neck geeks. No one looks like they can lift anything. Should I have Facebook in my business model? I wasted so much product trying to clean. See, I even stopped because it's giving them attention. Alex, I'm a top fan even though I drive an AMG now. People take the love of cars too far. At the end of the day, they're cars. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Negativity, disrespect, going around. Devin, stop it. We talk shit here. How do you think The reason I was liked, YOLO douchebag, is because I talked shit on the industry and people laughed. And then they figured out I was talking about them. Once I figured out the people that liked me the most because I was talking shit ended up being the people that did those things. And I went, oh, that's interesting. You liked me because I made these posts, but then you are the guy that does the stuff that I make in the. So once I found out, oh, y'all, goofy, I distance myself. I don't hang around any weird people. If you have stolen, done goofy shit, if you have done weird stuff, I don't want you in my wavelength. I don't want you 1 degree separated away from me. So if I have a friend of a friend that knows the guy, nope, I'm good. I'm out of here. See you later. I do my own thing. Did you see the first S650 to make 500 NA was a dark horse? Yeah, I think Rev Auto posted that on a dyno jet, it made 500 and it was all sauced up. You know, it was good. It had the exhaust. It had E85. You know, it had all the good stuff. Just like Gen 3. I posted on Sunday that American Muscle in 2018 posted a long tube header, cap back, E85, JLT cold air, Gen 3 making 507 rearwheel horsepower on their dyno jet. So this S650 is not impressing me in the sense that it is making much more power than the previous generation. The only thing you could say about it is at least it's now on par with the previous generation in terms of power, right? So you're hoping that when somebody takes apart one of the motors, they go, bro, it's got better oil pump gears. It's got better crank sprocket. You don't have to upgrade those. But guess what's going to happen? People are going to start shifting these at 8,000 RPMs and up. And then you know who's going to swoop in and say, well, before you rev it to 8,000 RPMs, you need these bluish, funky looking things to make. No, let's see if someone takes a motor out and says it's got badass oil pump gears or not. We'll see. It'd be wild work, Ford, if you didn't upgrade the oil pump gears from the factory. Just to put certain people at bay. Travis Camp says, I have a 15 RS3. Nice. Good. One of the better cars ever made. With a phase 2 kit and I've been trying to troubleshoot a PO300 code. Would you please help me and answer some questions? I'll pay you for your time. You're the best. What's the best way to reach you? Travis Camp, you're a member here. You can email me. But generally, a PO300 code is a general misfire code. If you Google misfire code, you're going to have to. Now, did you do a clutch recently, Travis Camp? Travis Camp, did you recently replace the clutch and all of a sudden a PO300 code came up? If so, it's because you jostled around or got the crank sensor dirty, and then you installed a brand new clutch. You probably bumped it, hit it, didn't wipe off the dirt from the old clutch dust, and now the crank sensor is not picking up the proper flywheel mass. It's not picking up the proper reluctor. It's kind of being wonky, and it needs a crank relearn. So all you would need to do, theoretically, is a crank relearn if it is throwing a PO300 code, if you recently replaced the clutch. What's it say here? I drove the new F-150, says Homie Caesar. It was nice, but a few things bothered me. If you're moving and open the door, it shifts to park. Homie Caesar, why would you need to open the door while you're moving? Like, see, the fact that your name is Homie Caesar gives me a clue as to why you might need to open the door while you're moving. Maybe you need to... But why do you need to open the door while you're moving? Oh, I know. Loading it on a dyno. A lot of people like to open the door and look. Mercedes does the same thing. I was loading up some AMG piece of shit. I opened the door to see the tire and the car came to a stop. And I'm like, can I get rid of that? So I had to be guided onto the roller. I wonder if Ford looked at some of the aftermarket setups, looked at stock cars and took the timing. No, I think when they're doing testing, they're like, the car is on average 75 to 150 pounds heavier than the previous generation because of the infotainment stuff, all the bullshit that they added. So it needs to make a little bit more power. Now, a lot of people say, why two throttle bodies? Well, they instituted pretty restrictive carbon traps in each cold air. They has two cold airs. So maybe during testing, they're like, well, if you put a carbon trap there, it might. 21 to 23 Mustangs had a carbon trap. They were down on horsepower. People found out, they cut out the carbon trap, which is illegal, and they went back out there and it made the power back. So Ford's like, well, emission standards are now even more tight. So they had an even more restrictive carbon trap on the cold air. And then when they saw testing, they're like, it's not, we either need to make the cold air 120 millimeter, or we need to put another one in there to make up for the airflow deficiency of the carbon traps. Theoretical, not 100%, but I'm just spitballing here. Sliding on the ops, right? He's trying to ghost ride. Exactly, sliding on the ops because ice. When the slur portal stops working, you open the door. He's doing sliding. What have you changed? Okay. Loading and unloading, that's why you open the door. Yeah, but not while it's driving. You can't ghost ride the whip. Why would you want to ghost ride the whip? Ghost ride the whip. Skip. Know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? Just slide on the ops, blame Joe Biden for that. Will you be going to FL2K this year, Alex? Not just no, fuck no. I'm going to be honest with you. I told you guys a while back, racing is not important to me. Racing is something I would do in a test and tune for the channel because, and then maybe I'll do a drag and drive one day, but I don't want to do the 2Ks. Unfortunately, it's just not the kind of people I want to be around. Not the Lunds. The Lunds are wonderful. Everybody else. I came to the conclusion that I don't need that kind of racing in my life. You know what I mean? If I want to go out and do a test and tune, I'll go out and do a test and tune. I'll go out and do a rental and, you know, for my own. But to me, fast street cars is what gets me. The problem is now the laws are even more strict in Florida. If you get caught doing 50 over, you're going to jail and your car gets gone and $1,000 fine. Like it's done. But whatever, we're gonna do shit. So to me, building a fast street car is way more important to me than drag racing. Drag racing to me has gotten, let's be honest, a little boring, right? You wait 2 hours to go 8 seconds in an event. Right? Then the Hondas come up, they oil down the whole fucking track. You see more tractors than racing in the 2Ks. That's just a matter of fact. But then when you see drag and drives, the prep probably isn't as good, right? And they get down and they're done. You see a rental. You go to rental. You can damn near go 16 times in a row if you want, right? For $300. Now, if the goal is to compete against others, I get it. And if you want to compete against others, I totally get it. I don't give a fuck. Why? Nobody in this industry is my peer. Know what I mean? I don't consider I'm not saying I'm better than you. I'm just saying nobody is my peer in this industry. I don't consider anyone, not to say at my level, I don't look up to anyone that are my opponents in this industry. The Lunds are the only people that I look up to. If they do a private rental, I'll go to that. I'll go to a rental in Orlando. Bradenton, I don't want to fuck with at all. If I have to go all the way up to fucking SGMP because I want to support Raul from Miami, go up there, do a test and tune up there, do a drag and drive up there, do something up there. But I don't want to go to the 2Ks, the Mod Nats, nothing. I don't care about that shit. I literally don't care. Like, the care level went to 0. I'd rather build a Coyote swap ZR-1, make it be a roll monster, do a half-mile event, go 205 plus. That to me is, and then drive it back and not need a bunch of bullshit to get down, or golf cart, hotel. Fuck all that. Fuck all that. Every Jeep from 2017 plus does it, although I'm pretty sure that's because of the Star Trek actor who got run over by his Jeep. Yes, Scotty. The guy who plays Scotty in the newer Star Treks, the way he died is he got out of his Jeep, the Jeep came out of the park position, and it pinned him up against the mailbox, and he died, right? How did Star Trek actor Scotty die? Here we go. Not that one. It was a jack off. Not Scotty, the young Scotty, young Scotty, not the old Scotty. No, what the fuck? It says pneumonia announced. So what was he, jack off? what was the young guy? Anton Yelchin. Thank you. The Star Trek actor Anton. There you go, from Star Trek died. Boy, I'm terrible. Anton Yelchin, best known for playing Pavel Chekhov in the Star Trek reboot films, died in a tragic accident at his home. He was killed when his 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee, they named the vehicle, the 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee rolled backward down his highway, pinning him against a brick pillar and the security fence. The official cause of death was blunt traumatic asphyxia. It was determined the vehicle was not in park, but rather in neutral, causing it to roll. Wow, what a shitty way to go. That is a terrible way to go. Didn't find any vacuum leaks at Strava camps. I did a compression test, regapped the plugs, clean MAF, changed battery. It was away for a couple of days, run perfect, then slowly started to misfire again. I'm lost. Travis, did you do a clutch recently? Let me see, Travis. Travis, did you do a clutch recently? No clutch. Okay, gotcha. No clutch. So no clutch. Damn. And you got a PO300. So, what can cause a misfire? Plugs, O2s, MAF sensor, and coils. Like, that's it. Like, really. Or a bad crank sensor, but I can't imagine that's happening. Half-mile events are fun as hell. Half-mile events are wonderful because I treat it as a half-mile drag race. When I did Ocala, Want to Go Fast, I had worked for Lund for maybe, a month? Maybe a month. So we took our 800 horsepower, tuned like ass cheeks. It was the worst. The person tuning that car that called me king of retards, you still use that file for your Gen 2 cars. I know it. I've seen these cars. I got one of them over here. Had to fix the whole fucking thing. So, wide open throttle was fine. So, I raced a CTSV, I raced a Viper, I raced a Supra, I raced a GTR. And I damn near beat all of them except... I even beat I think the GTR had mechanical issues. Big surprise. Next trivia question, right? Oh shit, I forgot about trivia questions today. Jesus Christ. Today's a giveaway. Okay, I'll think about it. Open test and tune is always chill people. Yeah, open test and tune, but the problem is the prep isn't as good. So you're going to suffer there. Wasn't the vet in Maryland at a shop? Yeah, but he texted me the other day. He doesn't appreciate you guys talking shit on him. And I said, I didn't talk shit on you. They did. And someone sends him a clip and he's like, I'm like, look, this is from my point of view what happened. Went up there, came back smelling like antifreeze, blew up. Did I say, I don't want another LS9 in it. I don't want a hand-me-down LS9 in it. I appreciate it. I don't want it. What the fuck? If I'm going to put $10,000 into this car, it's going to have a Coyote. Fucking LS9. Fuck that thing. Man, if you make 1100-ish with the ZR-1, those long gears will be a monster once it gets in a boost. In time, in the meat of the power band, it'll be insane. Right. When are you done revving on an LS9? 7100? 7200? Shit. Shit. Fuck. 7100? Coyote's just starting to make power. Stop it. They should create a class where racers race each other depending on how fat they are. How about you just sprint? Connor says, that's why you always put the e-brake on. From that stupid gear selector, they used to have those FCA cars. Pamela, why not race a total vehicle? Okay. Park Performance says, ringland failure. Yeah. What failed? What are you talking about? Chat, who is talking about? I don't know what's happening. Dio, do you want to exit? Dio, how do you want to exit the chat? I don't even know what he's talking about. Oof, just about called them out directly. Who are we talking about here? Yeah. No, homeboy is starting to get close to mention my name. And I can knock on your fucking door. Stop this. I will burn it all down. I'll go to fucking jail. I don't give a fuck. Give a fuck. Been a long time since I catched a live. After we gave him all the money to go racing, some people, look, again, you guys are a little crazy. It's over. Takawet body. We're gonna Coyote swap. It's gonna get the best. It's gonna have the best motor, the best content. I think it's gonna be a good. I think it's gonna be a good time. He should keep the same energy. Racing is dumb gay, but I enjoy going to an event with my friends and can't wait to go back to Slush in September to be a good time. What the fuck are you talking about, Slush? So Alex, you planning on mounting the turbos in the fenders? So okay. So Ryan Eckhart, low profile fabrication. He's gonna be in charge of all that stuff. He's gonna be the one putting the turbos on the ZR-1. So it's wherever he thinks they should go. Now, the car's not going to go up there until I have a good chunk of change saved up. I have to buy the turbos. I have to pay for his time, materials. So I'm thinking I'm going to be into the whole thing well over $5,000, maybe more. I'm hoping it's not $10,000. Holy shit. I'll put a blower on it if it gets to that point. Fuck all that. The RPM and the Coyote power band are what the LS guys really aren't getting. This is going to be a nasty fucking swap when it's done. So Coyote guys, LS swap guys would see that 7 creeping up, right? You'd see that 7 creeping up and you're like, I'm almost done. I got to pull the shifter or push it. Yeah, oh, I got to pull or push. And Coyote guys go, I ain't got to do shit. It's just, and I think that's what, see, I can't imagine there's an LS guy out there that has driven a properly vetted built Coyote and hates it. How can you hate it if you get into a, let's say even a 2020 GT500? I'm not a fan of those cars. Not at all. I don't think they're that great. But let's say you get in one that makes 850. You're going to go, fuck, this is good. This is fast. Look at the revs. Look at the tack. What the hell is happening? This thing is shifting at 8,200? Right. So then you got to start going, maybe that's favorable. Look at the Corvette, the ZR-1. Now, the other thing, let's talk about the Corvette a little bit. So, Chevy has not released a Nurburgring time for the Corvette, ZR-1. And I saw a post where Stang Mode said, look, Chevy admits they're not as fast as the GTD. They didn't say that. He says, GTD is still the king of the ring. I'm like, what? The ZR-1 is probably close to having the overall production car record. Not the American car record. The overall production car record. So they're probably like, bro, we beat the GTD by like 10 seconds. Fuck that thing. We're going after the big boy record. So if that's the case, maybe they're taking it a little long so that they can rent it again, go back out there, give it a full effort, and see if they can get the overall record. Now, I don't know this, but I know for a fact that a car that weighs less than the GTD, rear engine, all-wheel drive, hybrid, and makes 260 more horsepower is not going to be as quick around. Please stop the cap. Stop the cap. Stop this bullshit. Who this is senior gave me $100. Okay, thank you. Can't believe he gave me $100. Any new booty pics from the fuel guy? What are you talking about? When finished, are you planning to put the ZR-1 on the dyno at Lund? Yeah. So the goal with the ZR-1 is this: turbo kit done. Comes back here. Me and Jake got to make everything work. It's going to be a wiring nightmare. We're going to use the stock harness. We're going to make sure everything works. Make sure the AC works. Make sure all the drive system works. Make sure it starts on the button. Everything. And then once it's running and driving, I got to drive it around here, do some vetting, make sure drivability is good, make sure the clutch is actuating. That's the biggest thing. If it's mechanically sound, it goes right back up to Lund Racing. After I have the fuel system figured out, after I have a big enough injector to make over 1,000, I'm going to make sure that I set it up for success. And it can take a little bit, guys. I apologize. It's going to take a little bit. Probably first quarter of next year is probably, let's be honest. That's probably when it's all going to happen. But that's why I bought the white car, because I'll be able to race during the colder months. I have the GT500 I'm going to try to go eights with this winter. So I think it's going to be a bunch of fun if I can go to some rentals and see if I can get a good ET out of both vehicles. How's the Coyote swap vet? Is a Ford tan for PO300 intake manifold problem? Well, okay. If you have IMRCs, intake manifold runner control, and some 3 valves call them charge motion plates or something. IMRCs, intake manifold runner control. If you have intake manifold runner control and one of them goes faulty and starts flapping around and being weird, breaks, then you might get a misfire code. Might. I'm not saying you will, but I've seen it happen a couple times. Don't get me started. Dudes get 7,000 RPMs cams and are scared of 6,500. Justin Michael says, Travis, I had the same issue after the car set over the winter. I would get a PO300 partial throttle on diesel after a watt pull, check compression. If good, crank relearn, then good. Hey, I like it. See, y'all can make fun of this chat all you want. Y'all can make fun of the Amry. Let's be honest. On Patreon, on Instagram, on this chat, we help people. Slow 99 damn near has helped people on Facebook figure out a N-gauge issue, right? The Amry is best when defending. When defending someone talking shit on me, they go all the way in. They stick their dick all the way up in your ass. They don't tickle it. They don't edge you. They stick it all the way up in your ass. So it's real simple. Shut the fuck up about me. It's real simple. You don't want to get the attention of the Amry. Shut the fuck up about me. That's just how it is. And you wish you had people like that. You have people like maybe on your Facebook post that go, yeah, fuck that guy. But you don't got a whole group of motherfuckers that pay you to be like, hey, Alex, what do you need? We got to do a meet and greet. I got to meet you goofy motherfuckers. It's going to be weird. They probably beat up the GTD time just in the warm-up lap alone. Shadowless 311 says, the LS guy also still thinks he can buy a junkyard 6.0 for $500. By the time you get a heads cam, you're in $4,000, so you can make a whopping 750 horsepower and redline at 7,100 RPM. ZR-1 is not worried about the GTD, like Lund ain't worrying about ML. And even seniors like, I don't know what the fuck that is. And it's the truth. They don't even pay attention to that shit. They don't care. The only reason I see it is because the Amry reports back what's happening. Low and Slow says, is the gearing possibly going to be too long? No. Turbos are torquey. When up on boost, they're torquey, generally. So I think you're going to be surprised as to how well this car does with the gear set. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know. This guy sending me messages. I think he was the instigator of all that shit. And I'm like, bro, I didn't tell you to do that. I even told him in the post, what are you doing? The fuck you doing? Don't be doing stupid shit. You will have 5,000 in his time, another 3,500 materials, another 5 in turbos? Yeah, no. No fucking way. $15,000? Magnuson sent me a blower. I'm going to talk to him. Magnuson sent me a blower. I ain't doing $15,000 for a fucking turbo kit. That's crazy. That is crazy. That's crazy. Well, that's normal. Fuck you, it is. Cut me a break. I got it. It's just I don't want to spend it. El Vega says, how is the GTD long king of the ring when the GT3 RS isn't even the record holder and it's still quicker? Dude is a clown. Look, Stang mode is low IQ, low information. He knows it. He knows it. You know it in your heart of hearts. You're low IQ, low information about cars in general. So when you say the GTD is still king of the ring, I think he meant American, right? So let's give him the benefit of the doubt, because he did say that a car had this crazy thing called an MBRP resonator. What the fuck? Like,
We have an MBRP resonator deleter.
wouldn't that be you? Wouldn't the MBRP resonator deleter would be the person doing the work? I wonder what first gear will max out in the C6 ZR-1. Probably 70 miles an hour. Anyone think the ZR-1 isn't going to be the GTD? Well, I think it's going to be the GTD. I think the ZR-1 X is going to beat the GTD. Well, okay, let's talk about that. On a road course specific environment, garage built Coyote, this is where you Schleckenbergs come into play. Is a all-wheel drive car more desirable or a rear-wheel drive car more desirable? I contend that a rear-wheel drive car is more desirable than an all-wheel drive car hybrid in a turning situation. Do you know what I am saying? Let me look up a quick what do you call it? Trivia question, Star Trek trivia, so we can give away a shirt today. Again, Rich Prince put up a new LX shirt, so 87 to 93 LX front end, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3 Coyote. They got 1320 videos, all this stuff. So whoever wins, do me a favor, okay? Don't even answer this question if you've already won and if you don't want something. I know you want to win or you want to say you answered the question, but do me a favor. I genuinely want to give you guys stuff. I want to give you guys to give back because you guys provide so much for me. So I want to do at the bare minimum, even though I entertain you and give you all this shit in Patreon and stuff, a shirt, something, okay? And eventually, once Magnuson is going to do a giveaway. We got a lot of stuff to give away pretty soon. We're just working out some details. I think it's going to be a good time. So I'm going to look up a trivia question to Star Trek The Next Generation, so get your Google machine ready. And I saw a couple of episodes yesterday just to kind of get familiarized with the whole situation. So let me do a little bit of thinking, hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay, what? Okay. Okay, so in the finale for let me put you up here so you guys can see the top chat so you don't think I'm lying to you. So in the finale called All Good Things. In the finale called All Good Things, it was a 3-part finale of the Star Trek series. Captain Picard was phasing in and out of time, the past, the present, future. And he had to figure out the paradox as to why the Earth was going to get engulfed in this time, broken thing. So, what disease were they blaming his condition on? Meaning, the doctor says, you have this, and I think this is why you are hallucinating. What is the name of the disease that Captain Picard was diagnosed having in his old age in the 3-part finale, all Good Things on Star Trek? What disease? What disease? Travis, AOC's fart, Meek Mill's ass, straight out of Springfield, gingivitis. Oh, you're close. You're close. Oh, fuck, you're close. Someone said gum disease. You're so close. Ken, I think you already won. Someone said herpes. Hey, Precision Coyote. Oh man, you come on. Trying to catch it. There you go. Holy shit. So, okay. So BCSVT says aromatic syndrome. So he smelled really good. It was aromatic. So let's go. Aromatic syndrome. Okay, guys, let's do a poll here, okay? Because BCSVT said aromatic syndrome, Precision Coyote said aromatic, Ken Phillips said aromatic too. So I'm kind of like torn here. Aromatic was Precision Coyote the whole thing. Ken Phillips was a member, but BCSVT. Ken Phillips, haven't you won before? Fuck Ken Phillips. Let's start a poll. Who wins? And then we'll see at the end of the show. Who wins? Who wins? So let me see. Ken, BCSVT. And what's the last guy? Aromatic syndrome, he said. Fuck me. and Precision Coyote. Oh, add option. Precision Coyote. There we go. Start poll. So I'll leave it up to the chat. So there you go. You guys fight it out. I'm not involved. Fuck all that shit. So we're good. I'll see at the end of the show who wins. If anyone wants to pass on the giveaway, I'll take it. I've never won. Says Eliza's S550. Who the fuck is Precision Coyote? No idea. That's the thing. You know what's funny? There are people that watch this show that are ghost watchers, and they only speak up when there's hate or when they want to win something. You know what's funny? There's probably 20 people that hate my fucking guts that watch this show all the fucking time. Thank you, by the way. You're the most loyal. You should get the top G little Burger King hat, the Burger King crown. Irmotic. Asperger's, liberalism. Irmotic Jacob says Down syndrome. Hell yeah. Thank y'all. I'll see at the end of the show. There you go. So I got 3 people up there. Alex, you don't need me, but I need you, says MG1 PCM. Very nice. Good inside baseball stuff. Give it to the person with the bigger meat. Nice. Ken Phillips is a member. Members always win. But didn't he already win? Ken, did you already win? Come on, stop it. I'm a ghost watcher. Okay, I appreciate that, Pat 30. Give it to Douche Did It. Who the fuck are those guys, right? Ken Phillips sounds like an NPC name, so it sounds like he's won before, right? What's good numbers to see during compression tests on a Gen 2? Isn't it 190 to 200? Isn't it 190 to 200? I think it's up there. Ken is the only member. He gets it. Look, I'll leave it up to you guys. This is a democracy. This is the only time this is ever going to be a democracy. Mustang Lifestyle's laptop full of stolen HPC files says Ghost Watchers need a top fan badge. I love that. I love the name. Whopper, no onion. Give it to Ken. Gen 3 R or Whipple. What are you using it for? Andreas Martinez. Let's be honest. I have seen, based on the data, that the TVS 2650 seems to perform better in quarter mile applications than anything. Now, depends on the boost level also. A Gen 6 3.0 Whipple is gonna go mid-8s if you're over fucking 20 PSI. Of course. Same thing goes for the TVS. So it all depends on what you want to do. We love assholes just like us. Nice. Hero Alex, says Alex Puente. Tried to answer online the grocery store, says Bula. Burger King franchises. Nice. El Vega Larga says, in World Time Attack Challenge over the last decade, the overall winners have been equally rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. So there isn't a real advantage between one or the other. Now, I did see the Goodwood Festival of Speed. The great thing about the Goodwood Festival of Speed is that you see the latest and greatest, and you see when they actually do timed trials, which cars get after it. And there was a fucking Subaru, guys. I don't know what the fuck was... I don't know shit about Subaru. You understand? I don't know shit about Subaru. But let me go look up the Goodwood Festival of Speed. There was a fucking black Subaru that was just rolling. Goodwood Subaru 2025. It was black. Yes. Project... Oh, no. Here we go. Project Midnight. Oh, he went in 2024 also. Subaru's... How about... Can we just see the fucking... There we go. 10 fastest so far. Here we go. Okay. So, is this long? 10 minutes and 40... Okay. So, check this out. This is the Subaru. I like watching these because it's a weird course. It's tight. It's sketchy. But... Oh my God, hurry up. Hurry up. Don't care. Don't care about a port. Really don't care about this piece of shit. No.
Yeah, goes across the line, does 50.72, so it's not the fastest of everybody, but within the class.
There was a black Subaru.
This is a
nasty.
good opportunity for Sarah Bovey.
There it is. There it is. Here we go.
On the modified specials.
That was a launch from Scott Speed, so this car will be challenging. It already is. Look at that. Great launch off the line. Wriggles its way through the first section. Takes pretty much most of the grass on the inside. This will be the challenger for the overall. We're down to the final 2 runners in this shootout. Heads into Vulcan corner, clips all the grass.
Holy shit.
On the inside there, bleeds out, and it's looking very handy, Ben.
It is. He got into the 45s last year with this machine. Is he going to get down to that sort of level once again? It is massively quick. Lots of downforce. 2-litre boxer, 700 horsepower, but with the downforce, that's helping too. He's working hard at it. Scott Speed.
You know, one of the more disappointing things I heard is when I found out that Subaru transmissions are absolute butt cheeks. I said, really? Because I would watch those World Rally Championships all the time. I would watch them motherfuckers all the time. And I think, you know, at the end of the day, they suck unless they have like $150,000 in them. So this is a Koenigsegg Spear, a Sadire Spear. It's just a 4.6 or 5.0. I think it's 4.6. Twin turbo, Billy Badass shit.
To tell you, is a mega machine. It's the Koenigsegg Sadire Spear.
Oh,
it's a
man.
Special Koenigsegg. But it is a production car. It has already set production car lap records at Laguna. Versions of this, although this is the latest version, I think this is going to be very rapid, and it's driven by Marcus. Lund. Actually, no, it's Javier Castan this time. It's Javier Castan who's driving this time. I think this has the potential to be the fastest in this class, and not only that, to actually put it in a very quick time.
A good first sector, Ben. It was over a second quicker than Durban in the Ford Mustang. And he's challenged, he's actually set there the fastest, say third, fourth sector, shall we call it, third sector of anybody. We've got a few extra sectors on our timing screen here, but it's going to be close.
I don't know, that's just sexy shit. It's just super sexy shit that's going on at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. And then my favorite thing is when I see those old Cobras racing and the road race, bro, those things are just sliding the whole time. It's crazy stuff. Alex, rewind that. I thought I saw lifeless cow eyes eating grass. Ghost watching since my first Coyote last year. My car is still stock for now. Andrew Fitzgerald. Hey, do me a favor. Ghost watchers, check in. I understand you're watching right now. You're probably in the garage. You probably don't want to make yourself seen. But I want to see some new names on the chat. There were 700 people at one point. I'm sure 200 of them, thought I was going to talk about something else. I'm like, literally don't care. I talk about what I want to talk about. The ZR-1 and the S650. That's what I was going to talk about all day because I was working. People think I'm involved in other shit. I'm like, you guys are goofy thinking I'm on Facebook. You think I'm on fucking Facebook out of all things? So if you're a Ghost Watcher, say hello. Put a thumbs up in the chat, something. I want to see some new names here because a lot of you guys watch. There were 700 of you watching for a little while. I cannot imagine there are at least 100 of you that have never said hello. You just listen. You don't want to involve yourself in the shenanigans, but say hello and see what the deal is. Destroyer says, figured you'd pay the kid monthly nut for opening my eyes to getting on game with Coyote. Coming from Roots, B Series, K Series, Honda, Coyote is so awesome. Thank you, Destroyer. God damn it. I really appreciate that. And again, Patreon is there to help. Patreon has so many chats. There's a gun chat. There's a conspiracy theory chat. There's a YDB chat, which I'm in all the fucking time. And I do live chats with about 40 or 50 people there at a time. There's the peasant chat, which is free. But there's a bunch of, and sell your parts, plug your business chats. There's a bunch of chats. And you can get a hold of me personally for $15 a month. I got almost 300 paid chats in there, paid people, and like 400 freeloaders. So like imagine what I could do if I had 600 paid people. It'd be dumb. The WRX 5-speed are 100% made of glass. Okay, let's see if we got Ghost Watcher saying hello. Jared McLeod says Theo. Alfredo Diaz. Anthony says KC526 is Ghost Watching. Matt says solid Scooby Trans. Brian Juan Perez, I'm a ghost, but I say something funny here and there. Austin 1080 says F-150 fastest overall. Ponlo Matt, Ghost Watcher here, tuned Audi owner, but recommended your stream after watching some Greg Banish videos. Look at that. I appreciate that. And Greg Banish, he's like a OEM calibration guy. I have never come here and said I'm a badass tuner. I am a Lund racing tuner. I push their files. I adjust their stuff. I've worked for them for damn near 10 years. So I'm not ever going to come and say I'm a great tuner because that's so stupid to say. Humility goes out the fucking window. And if you're one of those guys that thinks that after 10 years I haven't honed my skill in one way, shape, or form, you got something else coming. For the most part, I said, Chad Pittman, what's up, Chad Pittman? Honda Forever says I never miss a live. Honda Forever never misses a live. Good day, I'm not a new Ghost Watcher, but I haven't been on in a while. Nazo, Sharky, 2000 MCR. Milton says I'm not new. Johnny Boy. Christopher says Ghost Watching. John Jones says gang gang. Bronco Sand says I'm still here, driving my semi. Wyatt, hello, Ghost Watcher for a long time. Roger Wall says hello. I love that. I love seeing these new names. 97 Outlaw, Thomas Ghost Watching. Alex Carmona Ghost Watching. Precision Coyote says been been watching for over a year now. Just like to learn. Joseph checking in. And Chris Garaldi, Andrew Stotts, Joshua Judd. This is great. This is great. All these new names. You guys should really be involved in the chat because people have become friends in the chat. Tell me, how many of you met, it's kind of weird, it's like gay, but how many of you met through this show or through my silliness and became real life friends? Like, I know JD Swag and Bryson Witt get along. EPA, I have met him in person. I've had dinner with him and his wife. He is legitimately someone I know. I've shaken hands with the dude. Great guy. So, you know, it's a community of like 2,000 members here, 77,000 subscribers, and over 200 on Patreon, and then 28,000 on Instagram. So say what you want about, you know, my silliness. I bring more people together than I hate on, and that's a fact. And I only hate on you if you're a fucking thief and a piece of shit. Tommy says, Ghostwatcher here. I love the entertainment twice a week, 3 times a week. I'm a truck driver that runs Northern Ohio. User Bri Poo says it X. Boyd Holland says, Ghostwatcher, been watching since VMP and when you had the Genesis. Fuck. Milton says, boo. Metaboy says, I've been watching for years, only chats once in a while. Matt Francis says, Ghostwatcher, I know that name. Checking in late every few months. Cool. Very cool. Yeah, like a lot of you guys have become literally friends in person. I know Garage Build Coyote became friends with Bondlebird. I think they visited each other. They touched tips, you know, and Bondlebird was coming over here. By the way, guys, let me mention something about one person that I want to help out. He doesn't ask for help. He is not the kind of guy that asks for help. But Eric Vega is a Amry member. He's a father of 2. He's a Ford tech. He is active on everything we do here. Facebook, he's a supporter, he's a great guy. How many other YouTubers do this, by the way? How many of these YouTubers do this? Get together and get some guy some money. I got money for that shop. I got money for Bonnebird. And what I'm asking for now is we need to start thinking about getting Eric Vega to Mod Nationals. Now, I'm personally not going to go to Mod Nationals, but Eric Vega wants to meet all the people that go to Mod Nationals. Mod Nationals this year is going to be at South Georgia Motorsports Park. And I want to see if he can make it. Now, this is what I told him. Do me a favor. Figure out how much you need, okay? I'm not just going to do a blind GoFundMe and then send it to you. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to ask Eric Vega to set up a GoFundMe for himself with a reasonable amount that he needs for hotel stays, gas, and just extra cash so that he can get to ModNats with his ESS Code Red S550. Okay, he has an ESS Gen 2 S550 with a build motor, G3R, I think, or G4, I don't fucking know. Build transmission, Ben Calimer Stage 4, all the saucy stuff. And I'd love for him to go to a East Coast track that has cold weather, good prep, because now Raul is running SGMP, and be in a Ford event that he can meet his friends, meet Garrett, meet all the people, meet the Lunds, meet everybody that put faces to names so he can get over this. So if you guys would be so nice to consider having Eric set up a GoFundMe, and then he can set a goal, and then he can set a goal up to get over to Mod Nationals at the end of the year. I think it'd be cool for the Amry to do, and I would give you like whatever. Like I've usually done like $1,000. Not a lot of other people doing that, right? I'm such a piece of shit. I'm giving Bondobird money, who works for Whipple, to come over and race at Mod Nats. We gave money to a Chevy guy just because I wanted the Amry sticker on his ship. And then if Eric Vega sets up a GoFundMe, I'm going to ask you guys kindly to support him. Hopefully he can set it up. What's Eric need? Let's help. Exactly. Eric is definitely an OG. Not for free. You're the only, not for free. You're not for free. You're the only real one. Should Eric get a Peasant Chat YouTube channel sticker? Yes. So we need a big stupid sticker that says Peasant Chat in the back. I know you got a bunch of other sponsors you fuck with, but if we're going to be responsible to send you to Mod Nats, meaning it's going to be $4,000 or $5,000, something like that, right? Right? Like let's say trip, meals, hotel for 4 or 5 days, and then trip back. Make sure you get okay, and you have a little cash left over, in case shit happens. I think $4 to $5 grand is probably a decent goal. You got to have the biggest, stupidest, dumbest Peasant Chat sticker on the thing. All it has to say is Peasant Chat, not my face. Peasant Chat on the back quarter panel, Peasant Chat somewhere, so you know who is the main sponsor that got you there. That's not far from me. I'm in Valdosta. I think that track in Adele. Yes, Playboy Valdosta is the track where Mod Nationals is going to be this year. I don't know if the Lunds are going to go. I'm definitely not going to go. I'll gladly donate, but he has to send a video of him shitting at the track. Jesus Christ. Goes watching while I work on my cars right now. I check in every now and then. Says Johnny LS1 T56. Austin 10 already says, I'm pretty happy with that S650 90,000 here in Australia. $90,000? Look, the good thing is African ceiling bird, whatever the fuck that means, is that tuning is available, so you should be able to get all the support. There's a Pro Charger car going around, right? Did you see that post? There's a Pro Charger car going around. Remember when Pro Charger started teasing S650 kits? They probably put one on. Tuning came out. They figured it out. Went out there, did some hits. Centrifugal S650s are probably going to do well. ESS should get on it. Even though ESS talks shit on Lund, verifiable. Seen the screenshots, ESS. Easy. Luckily, your product is pretty good and I support it. But the fact that you go out there and start talking shit on Lund for some goofy fucking reason that you want to support the other tuners, because we got a guy now making 600 real horsepower, 120 millimeter pulley. It's a 6R80 car. Those things don't show any fucking power on a 120 millimeter pulley. And I'm not going to shove 20 degrees of timing so that it can make 700 rear wheel horsepower on pump gas. That's just fucking stupid. I told him, get some octane booster, get some good fuel in it, and we'll see if it sees up to 17 degrees. The car's seeing 14 or 15 because the knock sensors hate life. So he's sending screenshots back and forth, and ESS is saying, something's wrong with the tune. Really? Really? The tune? Companies gotta be real fucking careful of what side they want to be on. My bad side is not good. It carries some weight. It carries some weight. Doesn't it? How the fuck did y'all think y'all got on so hard? Go ahead and tell me it was somebody else. Go ahead. I dare you. Stop it with your bullshit. Anyway, I still support the product. But don't get goofy. Say, work with your tuner, figure it out. Because if someone sends me a log of another tuner's tune, I go, figure it out with your tuner. I'm not going to poach. I don't do the poaching game. Figure out your tuning with your tuner. If you, customer, are not happy, then you can go ahead and get another tune. But I am not going to poach your shit. But the fact that ESS is putting their hands on the scale is a little weird. Because 6R80 cars on 10 PSI boosted make 600 to 630. Done. If it makes above that, they're shoving 20 degrees in it. That's not what the fuck we do. Crazy. Crazy work. Stop it with the bullshit. ZR-1 Turbo Kit Fund. Please don't put a blower on it. I won't. Twin turbo is going to be really cool. This sticker is inconvenient, but I do love... I'm going to stop. Need a rich prince to make a shirt where a percentage of the proceeds go to Eric Vega. Not a bad idea. Been watching since YWT days. I don't post much. Great Coyote content and laughs. That's all I want to do. Make you guys laugh. Oh my God. Stop it, Kill Shop. Been watching since the first Street Alpha, says Devin Garcia. Convinced me to get an RCSB. Awesome. ESS 10-speed better than Wish 10-speed. You're not wrong. Didn't ESS had bad customer service with that Terminator tensioner fiasco? Yes. Yes. They did not do Valley 10-speed right. They fucked with him. They called him names. Damn near. I'm not going to mention it, but it wasn't cool, the shit they did. But I said, you know what? That's a bad deal. I told Valley, get yourself a turbo kit. Boom. He went mid-8s real quick. Now he's going to get back after it again. So I think it's going to be interesting. And he's going to try to make Texas 2K this year, which is very smart. So he can actually compete, go mid-8s, low-8s, or high 7s. That would be super cool. If he got a 400 in the thing, I think it would be super awesome to see him go from California over to Texas and compete and do well. You know, I support him 100%. Austin 10 already says, wife wrote off my Lund Tune 2020 GT in May. Insurance replaced it with an S650. Went manual this time. Good time for another Lund Tune. $90,000 Aussie is equivalent to 55 in US. Free S650 upgrade, good for me. They gave what? What do you mean they gave you? You crashed a 2020 GT, your wife did. And the insurance gave you an S650, or did they give you enough money to buy an S650? Boyd Holland says 89 notchback roller debating on 351 mile motor or Coyote. Want to be NA both? Now the crazy pump gas tune turn. Oh, 351. Okay, the money. Okay, look, a Gen 3 motor can get you into the 9s depending on the weight. A mildly built 351. A Gen 3 motor can get you into the 9s, E85, and if the car's light. A mildly built 351 is going to run $12,000. So, it's probably cheaper to go Coyote. ESS already fucked up with Valley. They did fuck up with Valley, and I haven't forgiven them. So if I see another email of them saying, Lund fucking sucks, go to this guy, no problem. No problem. Another hashtag. And we'll see if the graph in sales goes like this. Because I don't matter. But I'm loyal to my people. So if you're out there saying fuck Lund in a not necessarily fuck Lund, but saying something's wrong with the tune. Not wrong with the tune. 10 PSI Coyotes through a 6R80 make 600 something. They don't make 700. I'm sorry. Unless the dyno is the happiest dyno on the planet happy dyno. Okay, on the planet happy dyno, a ESS 120 millimeter pulley car on pump gas. No booster, no nothing. Make 700 to the wheel. Fuck out of here with your bullshit. 18 degrees of spark advance, 19 degrees of spark advance on pump gas. I've seen the logs. Stop it. Imagine throwing shade at guys that have sold more of your supercharger kits than any other tuner. The fastest ESS cars are Lund tuned, not up for the bait. Be careful. Now, I'm not going to say, Lund, stop the port. No. But I'll say stop supporting it. So, I don't want to see another fucking email. I don't want to see another fucking email of you talking shit on Lund at all. You fuck with Lund, you fucked with me. That's it. ESS turned me away when shopping for a supercharger setup for my Coyote swap. I live 10 minutes from there. They said we don't support swaps and wouldn't sell me just the head unit. That's wild work. That is the wildest shit I've ever heard. I'm already getting a Vortec instead. I'm getting a Paxton. If I'm going to get a Gen 1 blower, I'm getting a Paxton. That's right. Paxton 2200 SL OG. That bitch makes a bunch of power. Stop it. Would have never heard of ESS until you said their name. No. It's this other tuner in the middle of fucking nowhere. By the way, guys, I saw something online that blew my mind. Somebody dynoed a car with 315 gears and then another one with 355s, and they wondered why the graph was different. Yeah, look, I don't mind making shirts. Fuck it. Mokar says 900 roval horsepower, 2650 TBS, 10-speed. Which rear gear? 315s. 315s all day, every day. They let tuners that know about gearing rag out their cars. Oh, brother. 315 car, moon cars, exactly. Deal support. Thank you so much, Rooster. Lund literally has the fastest Coyotes running ESS setups. Talking shit on the company makes it happen is the dumbest thing. I think the customer was like, hey, is something wrong? I'm like, no. 600 roval horsepower is about right for what you got. If it's a manual, it'll probably damn near be 630, 650. And if the fuel is really sweet, the knock sensors add timing, and it might be 680. But an automatic, no. Most 6R80s don't show a lot of power. But he was a little, well, I've seen all these other cars make 700. Can you afford another motor? I said, look, get some octane booster in there, and I'll make 100 octane too, and it'll probably make another 40, maybe 50. And he said, well, what about 700? What about 700? They want a power number, not a performance thing. Worse yet, imagine recommending a guy that can only tune basic stock throttle body setups and would be lost with anything exotic, right? Whatever. That's on them. They want to recommend whoever they want to recommend. Cool. I think they don't like the fact that I am not going to be bought by a kit. If you provide a kit, by the way, the person that provided the kit was the nicest guy ever. The guy who I dealt with, who ended up leaving that company, that guy is the reason I gave a fuck about that kit. I never talked to the owner. Valley talked to the owner and got the worst treatment ever. Just a Memoir says, late tonight, but going to catch the replay. Okay, who won the 45% of the people said Precision Coyote should get it. So Precision Coyote, I guess you're the winner according to this. Let me wait till 9:30 to make sure 100% that we are up. I don't think, how many votes? 217 votes. Oh yeah, nobody's going to supersede that. So Precision Coyote, email me, ydbt4life, ydbt4life@gmail.com. Tell me what you want from Ridge Prints. Choose the shirt, screenshot it, size, color, design, and then give me your address. And we're good. It's summer, 600 is good, right? ESS barely makes anything of C7 Vets and BMWs. They only make great power off of Coyotes. Been watching. Ed Diaz, do me a favor, Ed Diaz. Before you implicate me in anything, do me a favor. Understand what can happen. Because I get it. You're a fan. You're a great guy. But if you're going to implicate me in bullshit that I had nothing to do with, it's a bad look. It's a bad look for the Amry. Right? We're out there just chilling, defending. I'm not going to go out there and start saying stuff and posting stuff or telling people to post stuff. That's not what I do, bro. So do me a favor. I love you. And I know you're a fan. No shenanigans. No, the less they're mentioned, the quicker they go away. They will die on the vine, just like Lund said. ESS talk shit about Lund is like Kendrick dissing J. Cole, and J. Cole bought Kendrick to Dre attention. Yeah, but even J. Cole had to apologize. The Wolf says, watching forever, long-time Lund customer, recently retired. Good for you. What? God damn it, good for you. You're retired? What are you doing in your free time? Throwing every spare penny into a 65 GTO project now that I have the time. Love your content. The Wolf, congratulations on retirement. That is the dream. Good for you. Are you going to run Garrett turbos on the Corvette? I'm not running Precisions, I'll tell you that much. 900 real horsepower, 10R80. Which rear gear would you use for 8th mile? Street rolls, 355 stock or 315s? 315s is the best gear in my opinion. I only knew of ESS because of the show. I think Ed needs to run the fade with ML. That's on them. Like, I didn't tell him to do nothing, but then I was implicated in it. And I'm just like, I think that's why there were 700 watchers today. Do you think Porsches are overpriced? Absolutely. I don't know. I don't think they're overpriced. I think they sell well at that price range for a reason. Time to go watch Junior's latest upload. So if Junior uploaded something on E85 Tuning today, guys, go to his Instagram, go to his Facebook, watch good results on E85, excellent results on E85. These cars need E85. So on pump gas, S650, you're not going to pick up that much power, but E85 seems to do really well. Again, guys, this car is 100% stock. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when we upgrade some of the induction or put headers and free-flowing exhaust on it. Have a good rest of your day. I'll see you guys on Thursday for YDBT Daily. We'll hang out then, hang out, talk some more shit, and see what else happens. Have a good rest of your night. I'll see you guys later. Bye.